Be me, 29, married to Ryan, 35. He writes code for a living solid guy, not some loud macho type. Met him back in college, he showed up to a rally. I helped put together, been in my corner. Ever since actually reads the links and essays I text him. We've got a decent little starter, house, 2 cats, no kids. So far I work at a pretty good job for a software company. My friends Jenna and Claire are in the same kind of world. We have this book club, except instead of regular fiction, we read stuff like The Second Sex and Audre Lorde essays, jokingly call ourselves the Aware Wives Club. Lately I've had this thing eating at me, the whole domestic setup more specifically, the physical side of being married. It just feels ancient. The whole ritual around it, the hints, the silent expectations, all of it feels staged, like I'm constantly trying out for a role. Ryan isn't a bad husband, he's not aggressive or demanding or anything, but the whole structure of married intimacy feels fossilized, like it was built on male expectation and female obligation. Even when I actually want it, that framework is still sitting there. Bring it up, at book club. Jenna starts snapping her fingers immediately. Yes, exactly. She says it's the emotional labor of handling his desire on top of your own feelings. Claire jumps in right, after says it's part of the mental load. Says even the idea of being in the mood is built to center. Men says it's draining. They fully understand the assignment .jpg. So we start tossing around solutions. How do you dismantle that whole patriarchal setup inside your own marriage? How do you take your agency back in your own house? Then I get hit with an idea, actual light bulb moment. What if we get rid of the ambiguity? I go, what if we formalize it? They both look at me like I'm onto something, a schedule. I say make it a recurring calendar thing. We both know when it's happening, no guessing, no pressure, no performance. Jenna's eyes get huge like an intimacy appointment. I point at her. Exactly. It's fair. It's pre-agreed. He doesn't have to initiate. I don't have to manage a response. We just both arrive as equals. Claire looks like she might start floating, says Megan. That's actually radical. Says I'm taking a tool of capitalist patriarchy, the schedule, and turning it into liberation. Start feeling like some kind of genius. Like I've just reinvented marriage for the modern age that night. I decide to pitch it to Ryan. Sit him down on the couch. I've basically got bullet points in my head, calm voice, professional tone. Like I'm presenting a new system at work. Ryan, I want to talk about optimizing our physical relationship for better balance and mutual respect. He puts his phone down, looks mildly alarmed and confused. Okay, what does that mean exactly? So I walk him through all of it. The emotional labor, the unspoken expectations, the mental load, all the right terminology. I make it clear, this isn't about less intimacy, it's about better intimacy, more intentional intimacy. He listens the whole time, slow nods, but his forehead is all creased up. So you want to put sex on a calendar? Yes, a repeating every other week. Event maybe every other Wednesday at 9 p.m. That way we both know in advance we can prepare mentally. It's equitable. He goes quiet for a while, after that long enough to make the room feel weird. Then he finally asks if that doesn't kill the romance. Asks what happens if one of us just isn't feeling it. On a Wednesday, I've already got an answer. Low to tell him, mood is a social construct. Tell him, spontaneity usually hides. Power. Imbalances. Tell him this way. We're both enthusiastically agreeing ahead of time. Tell him it's about structure and reliability. Tell him it's healthier, can literally see him trying to process this in real time. He's trying so hard to be supportive, trying to be a good feminist husband, also clearly terrified of saying one wrong sentence. I know that. Look, because I've trained him well. Finally, he says, really carefully, if this is what you need to feel respected and comfortable, then I'll try it. Yeah, okay, let's do it. Victory.png. I pull out my phone, immediately make the recurring event right there. Label it connection and intimacy. Set it for every 2 weeks. Send him the invite. His phone lights up with the notification. He glances at it, face completely unreadable. First scheduled night finally shows up. It's a Wednesday all day. I feel this weird sense of administrative pride. I handled it, I solved it, I worked my shift, came home, made a healthy dinner, and now I'm just waiting for 9 p.m. Everything feels neat, organized, efficient. Ryan barely says much the whole evening. I assume he's just still adapting to the new framework at 8:55. I shut my laptop, stretch a little, give him a look, almost time for our synergy session, trying to sound playful. Instead, I sound like a supervisor announcing a team call. He gives me this thin little smile, then follows me to the bedroom. The sex is fine, not bad, not amazing, just completely adequate, feels like putting together flat-pack furniture, follow the steps, end up with the expected result. Afterward, he turns over and is asleep. Within minutes, lay there awake afterward, telling myself, this is what progress is supposed to feel like. Real change isn't always cute or cinematic. Sometimes it's just structure. Sometimes it's about systems, holding together, text, the aware, wives club, right from bed, phase 1, complete, the system is operational. Jenna answers, basically instantly says, this is iconic. Another 2 weeks go by. I'm slammed at work with a massive project, putting together some giant 48-slide presentation about using gender-inclusive language in internal code, documentation. One of the engineers actually teared up in the meeting, huge win for the culture, barely even register that Ryan has started spending more time in the guest room he uses as an office, second scheduled, night comes around, pretty much same as the first one, functional, quiet, kind of clinical. Afterward he goes, hey, I think I'm gonna go decompress for a bit, then disappears into his office. A few seconds later, I hear a video game boot up, kinda weird, but whatever. People need space then. I start noticing this little shift in him. Nothing dramatic, just small stuff. He used to ask follow-up questions about my day. Used to want details about office drama, or the latest inclusion push I was trying to get off the ground. Now he just says, how was work? And before I can even get into the coded subtext of some weird moment from our company town hall. He's already nodding, says that's good, that's nice, not arguing, not even really responding, just kind of bouncing it away from himself. One Saturday, this huge box shows up at the house. Inside is this full racing wheel set up with pedals. Not some cheap toy either, serious-looking equipment. He spends the whole weekend putting it together on his desk, like hours and hours, and the annoying part is, he actually looks excited. More excited than I've seen him in forever. Eyes, bright talking, fast. Says it's for sim racing. Says there's this whole online scene for it, leagues, rankings, championships. Says it's insanely realistic. I try to react like a supportive wife. Oh wow, that's cool. Nice, a new hobby. Inside though, kind of irritated. The whole setup looks bulky and ridiculous, like a shrine to wasted male free time. Over the next few weeks, the soundtrack of our home becomes fake engine noise, every night after work. He's in there, headphones on hands on the wheel, talking to people I can't hear. Nice move into turn 2, Chris careful on the straight. He's diving late, he's fully somewhere else. Some alternate dimension made of lap times and car settings. And apparently Chris, our usual evenings on the couch watching documentaries, get replaced by the constant high whine of a digital race car. Then the third intimacy appointment comes up. I go into the bedroom at the usual time. He's not there. Find him in his office, headphones unlocked onto the monitor, mid-race. I stand there in the doorway for like a full minute before he even notices me. Finally, he pulls one ear cup off. Hey, what's up? It's 9:15, I say. Trying very hard not to sound pissed. His face changes immediately. Oh, crap. Right then, he says, can you give me like 15 minutes? This is the final race for the season. Standings, I'm running third overall right now. Feel my jaw lock up. Ryan, we have a recurring appointment. He starts doing the calming voice. I know. I just lost track of time. Give me 15. I swear this one's actually a big deal. I'm furious at this point, but I also do not want to become the stereotype. The bitter wife standing in the doorway complaining about her husband's hobby. I'm supposed to support his interests even when his interests are stupid. So I just go, fine, 15 minutes, walk back to the bedroom, sit on the edge of the bed, scroll my phone, 20 minutes go by, still hear him through the wall. No. I'm losing the rear. Finally, he comes in, looks flushed and embarrassed, says sorry about that. Came in fourth, blew it on the last lap. He leans in to kiss me, but I can tell his brain is still halfway inside the race. The whole thing feels hurried, detached, like he's physically present, but mentally somewhere on a pretend track in Ohio or whatever. He's just checking the box. First time I really feel an actual crack in my perfect little system. Bring it up with Jenna and Claire at brunch. He's disappearing into a digital man cave. Claire says, while waving her avocado toast around, like she's lecturing. A class says, it's textbook avoidance, says men do that, when they feel their authority in the relationship. Getting challenged, they retreat into some tiny kingdom they can control. In his case, it's a dumb car simulator. Annoyingly, that actually sounds, right? Then Jenna says the game itself is symbolic. Says he's trying to win somewhere because deep down he feels like he's losing control at home. Says I need to reassert the importance of our emotional bond. The way they explain it all sounds incredibly smart, like something with peer-reviewed sources behind it. So, what am I supposed to do? I ask. Jenna says, I need to engage with the hobby, but on my terms show interest, make it clear I'm willing to step into his world, while also showing him how small and unserious it is, compared to real human connection kind of position. It as a cute little side activity that stays in its proper place honestly makes sense to me. I'll fold his world into mine that night. I decide to try exactly that walk into his office while he's practicing. What are you up to, babe? Driving your little pretend race cars again? He flicks his eyes at me. For maybe half a second. Most of his attention is still welded to the screen. Just working on the Laguna Seca course, he says, this section is brutal. Uh-huh. You know, I just read this piece about how car culture has basically always been tied to performative masculinity. That's interesting, he says, still not looking away, hands moving on the wheel, as he takes some sharp digital corner. Then he goes, can we do this later? I really need to get my braking markers right here. He is not even hearing me, like at all the nerve. I stand there for another second, feeling totally invisible. Then I leave, and the sound of tires screeching out of his speakers feels like it's making fun of me. The distance between us keeps growing, and apparently he decided to pave a fake racetrack right through the middle of it. Weeks keep crawling by. Our lives are basically running side by side. Now we're like roommates with a recurring lifeless physical appointment. Every other week, he's getting seriously into the game. First, he buys a new monitor, then another. Now he's got this full triple screen setup curved around him like a cockpit. He's also started running in the mornings just out of nowhere, and he's dropping weight, looking leaner, more defined. I keep telling myself, it's good, he's taking care of his health, but this ugly little voice in my head keeps whispering that he's not doing any of it for me. He's doing it for himself, or worse for Chris, and the rest of his weird online race buddies. Our conversations are down to pure logistics. Now did you put the recycling out? The cat food's almost gone. Don't forget, we have dinner with your parents on Saturday. The articles I send just sit there, unread the documentaries we used to watch. Never get turned on. The house is quiet except for fake engine noise. Then Tuesday shows up, our next scheduled night, and I've had an absolute garbage day at work. Some new guy in marketing called, a group of women, you guys, and I had to sit through a 3-hour mediation. About it ended with him crying. Ended with me feeling completely wrung out. I need this tonight. I need the structure. I need proof that our system, my system, actually works. I've got this grim, determined feeling in my chest. Tonight will be different tonight. We're actually going to connect at 8:45. I put on a calming face mask change into these nice satin pajamas I literally bought for scheduled nights. I feel composed, organized, in control. This is supposed to be my area. I go to the living room to get him. He's obviously not there, so I head to his office door closed, can hear the low mechanical hum from his setup through it. I knock Ryan, nothing, just engine noise and frantic shifting sounds. I knock again harder. This time, Ryan, it's 9 o'clock. Then the noise cuts out. He takes off his headphones, looks at me, and this time he doesn't look guilty, doesn't look flustered, he just looks tired. Hey, it's Tuesday, I say. You know what? Tuesday is. He turns in his chair so he's facing me all the way. The light from the 3 monitors is glowing behind him. Yeah, Megan, I know. Well, I say, crossing my arms. Your reminder went off an hour ago. He lets out this sigh, not a normal sigh. Either the kind that sounds like he's been holding it in for months. I'm not up for it tonight, he says, voice flat as drywall. My brain just kind of stalls out. I blink at him. What do you mean? You're not up for it. That's the whole point of having a schedule. We don't need to be up for it. We just do it. That's what commitment is it? He says. And for the first time, there's an actual edge in his voice. Or is it just another box you get to check off in your perfect life? Spreadsheet, that one hits hard. What, that's not fair? At all, I say, words coming out, all scrambled. This was supposed to help us. This was to make things more equal. No, he says, this was to fix something that bothered you. You had the problem I was happy before. I really was. Maybe it wasn't some flawless system, but it was real. Then he stands up, he seems taller than usual. Or maybe I'm just shrinking in the moment I miss my wife, Megan. He says, and now his voice is quieter, tired, more than angry. I miss surprising you. I miss you laughing at my dumb jokes. I miss when there was actually a spark there. You scheduled the life out of it. My thoughts are scrambling around, trying to pin a label on what he's doing. Gaslighting, emotional manipulation, weaponized nostalgia, something. So you're rejecting me? I ask, and my voice actually shakes on the scheduled night. That's not how this works. I do not consent to being rejected. The second the sentence leaves my mouth, I hear how insane it sounds. He lets out this short, bitter laugh. You don't consent to being rejected. Wow, wow. He shakes his head, staring at me like I'm some stranger who wandered into his house, this whole thing. He says, motioning between us feels like a performance review, and somehow I'm always failing it, and tonight I'm calling out sick. I'm not doing the chore. He brushes right past me, grabs a pillow and a blanket from the hall closet, says, I'm sleeping on the couch tonight. Doesn't even look at me. When he says it, says he needs space. Then he's gone, and I'm just standing there alone in his office surrounded by those 3 glowing monitors. The racing setup looks like some weird alien command chair. The whole room smells like him. Everything is dead quiet now. My entire perfectly organized little world just got flattened in. Under 5 minutes, panic hits. Immediately full body, panic, cold and sharp. This was absolutely not part of the plan. Stumble back to the couch, grab my phone, hands shaking so hard, I almost drop it open. The Aware, Wives Group, chat, type code, red, emergency. He refused responses. Start coming in, basically at once. Jenna, first, oh my God, what the audacity, tell us everything. Then Claire says, it's a power move, says he's trying to reassert control, says do not give in, hold the line. So I type out the whole humiliating story, every detail, the part about it feeling like a chore, the part where he said he missed his wife. Jenna fires back fast. This is textbook deny, attack. Reverse victim and offender says he's making himself into the victim because I dared to set a boundary. Says it's classic manipulation, says this is straight out of the narcissist handbook. Claire latches onto the wife. Comment, says that part is deeply telling, says he's mourning the loss of the compliant pre-awakened version of me. He thought he was entitled to. Says he doesn't miss me, he misses the version of me that made him comfortable. They sound so sharp, so certain. Their analysis makes me feel steadier, like they're restoring my grip on reality. In real time, then Jenna tells me exactly what to do next. Says I need to cut him off, completely. Silent, treatment, total information, diet. Make him understand access to me is a privilege, not a default setting. Claire says I also need to prove I don't need him. Says go out, have fun, post it everywhere, make sure he sees exactly what he's missing. Says scarcity is the only language men like that understand. The advice sounds strong, decisive, like something a powerful woman in a blazer would do in a prestige TV show. So, okay, new strategy, operation, deep freeze, next morning. I walk past him sleeping on the couch like he's part of the furniture. Don't say one word. Make my coffee, get dressed, grab my bag, leave for work. As I'm heading out, he tries to say have a good day. I just slam the door all day at work. I'm barely holding it together, but externally, I'm projecting cold, polished competence that night. I go out for drinks with Jenna and Claire. We take a selfie, all 3 of us smiling with cocktails up. I post it caption, says grateful for friends who empower me to live authentically. Hashtag girls night, hashtag unbothered. Then I keep checking my phone every few minutes to see if he viewed it. He did. No response, silent treatment goes on for 3 full days. It is miserable. The house feels like a mausoleum. And the worst part is, he doesn't seem affected, or if he is. He hides it perfectly. Still goes on his morning runs. Still spends every night on the racing sim. I can hear him laughing through the wall with Chris or Mark or whoever. He seems fine lighter. Almost. I'm the one losing my mind. I'm the one wandering around the house like some displaced spirit. This is not working. He is not crawling back. He is quietly drifting farther away on day 4. I crack. He's in the kitchen making a protein shake after his run. I can't stand it another second. So, this is it, I ask, voice already breaking. You're just gonna live here and act like I don't exist. He stops the blender, turns and looks at me, totally calm, says he's not ignoring me, says he's giving me space and giving himself space too. Says he told me he needed space, and then I say, the dumbest possible thing. It was a test you were supposed to fight for me. You were supposed to prove you cared. I'm crying by now, can't stop it. He looks at me with actual pity, and somehow that feels worse than anger. He asks why he would fight for a business arrangement, says I turned our marriage into a contract, and when he said he wasn't happy with the terms, me and my friends labeled him a manipulator. My stomach dropped straight through the floor. How do you even know about that? He says I left my laptop open, says the group chat was right there on the screen. Then he leans against the counter and just says the words back at me. Classic narcissist, toxic masculinity. All of it says, I didn't see a husband who was hurting. I saw a textbook example, says I ran a diagnosis on him instead of talking to him, like a person. I have absolutely nothing to say to. That he keeps going, says he's not a concept. He's a person. My person? He says, and I outsourced our marriage to a committee, and that committee gave me some of the worst advice he's ever seen. All the fight just leaves me right there in the kitchen. I don't even feel angry anymore, just flattened. So I ask him what we do now, barely above a whisper. He looks around the kitchen at the house, at the whole life we built together, and says, he doesn't know, and he sounds genuinely sad when he says. It says he thinks the schedule didn't just kill the spark, says it burned the whole engine out, says he doesn't know how to fix that. Then he drinks his shake in silence and walks out of the room. Couple hours later, he comes downstairs with a duffel bag, says he's going to stay with his brother for a while, says, we both need actual space, not this weird passive-aggressive Cold War we've been doing. I ask how long, he says he doesn't know. And then just like that, he walks out the front door. I stand there and watch his car back out of the driveway. Then he's gone. House goes completely silent. No blender, no TV, no stupid fake engine noise, nothing. 2 weeks pass. I text him, sometimes, mostly get one word. Replies called Jenna and Claire sobbing. The night he left, Jenna told me I should file for divorce immediately to prove I'm serious. Claire told me to take this as a chance to go on some spiritual reset trip and reconnect with my divine feminine, or whatever. Their advice suddenly sounds insane, like it was beamed in from another planet. Useless, all jargon, all empty words. I unfollow both of them on Instagram. Now I'm sitting alone on the couch in the dark. Open my calendar on my phone, and right on cue. A notification pops up, connection and intimacy, 9 p.m. I just stare at it. Connection and intimacy reads like a bad joke. Now I look around the empty living room. My face is reflected back at me in the black TV screen. I look pale, exhausted, completely alone. Me after scheduling my marriage into the ground. Me after getting so focused on deconstructing everything that I tore apart my own home. Me after he wanted a wife and I showed up like middle management. There's no win here, no empowerment, arc, just silence and one recurring empty appointment sitting on my calendar.